All right, everybody, welcome to the coaching circle number 2 with the Confident Catalyst Collective. It is May 14th, Tuesday, May 14th, and I am super stoked. We're going to have some people popping on here, but I really want to make sure that we make the best use of our time together. Noon to 1 Pacific Standard Time. We got Kendra from Chile, we got Sam from the UK, we got California in the house, and a bunch of Portlanders. Thank you for taking your time out of your day to catalyze your confidence. That is the goal of these coaching circles. And my invitation at the beginning is always to show up and play full out during the time that we have together. So even if you yourself are not being coached, someone else's coaching could be the coaching that you really need to hear right now. So we get to really learn from each other and to really be present as well, to really be present during this time. So I invite you, if you do have your video on, to be with us. And if you're unable to do that, if you're eating food, if you're doing other things, you can just turn off your video unless you're able to really so that everyone feels really heard, seen, loved, cared for, love whooshed, all the things. So show up, play full out is our community agreement, along with one thing that I don't think I explicitly mentioned last time, but is just super important to name, which is confidentiality, right? So knowing that people got vulnerageous last week and shared some things that we don't want blasted all over social media of oh, I was on this call and so obvious. It feels obvious, but I think it's just an important thing to name explicitly. So show up, play full out, confidentiality, and then there's no wrong question. There's no wrong question, no good question, no bad question. Whatever questions are on your heart right now is whatever questions need to be brought to the surface, and that we're all here to grow and to learn and to receive support, wisdom, guidance, healing, love, to feel lifted up. Maybe some people just need a pep talk. Maybe some people need some feedback on an idea or on pricing or on filling their event, right? It all goes. And like I said before, I am an open book. And I just wanted to start the top of the hour with a couple just setting the tone for our time together today. And I also just wanted to, I'm going to invite everyone to land in our space. So I'm going to lead just a very short guided meditation visualization for you to really drop in here together into this space. And we're just going to take 3 really big, deep breaths all together. And maybe these are the deepest breaths that you've taken all day. You can close your eyes. You can turn off your video. You can do whatever you need to do. Take 2 more big, deep breaths and just really invite yourself to land here right now. Knowing there's nothing that you need to be, nothing that you need to do. You're exactly where you need to be on your journey. I'm just going to invite you to consider the question of, what is it that I need right now? Or what do I feel like I need to know right now in order to catalyze my confidence, in order to lead my community, in order to facilitate and lead events and workshops and experiences that transform people's lives? So either what do I really need right now? Or what do I need to know right now? and allow whatever comes up to come up for you. I invite you to take 3 more big, deep breaths. Breathe in to whatever it is that you're needing. Whatever question is on your heart right now. Wherever you're at right now. It's perfect. And I'm going to invite you to, hopefully you have a pen, piece of paper close by. If not, you can type on your phone, do whatever. Just write down, just 30, 60 seconds, write down anything that came up for you, anything you feel like you need to know right now, get support on right now, for our time together today. Maybe it's a specific question that you'd like to ask me, a specific thing you would like to get feedback on. Or maybe you're just here to witness, to hold space, to be with each other. Beautiful, beautiful. So maybe take another 20 seconds or so to wrap up any thoughts that you wanted to write down from just landing here, just dropping in. Maybe take a look around the room, imagining that we're all in a circle together, even though we're miles apart. So we are going to just move from here into the group coaching format that I have, that we've been doing for the last couple calls. I think it's working well. We can continue to change and adapt and co-create this so that it's really valuable for you. But typically at the top of the hour, I'm just going to ask people, you can feel free to if you want to come back on video, if you turned your video off for the visualization, great. If you want to stay off video because you have other things, that's okay. I do invite you, if you can be present with us on video, to do so. It's just really fun to see everyone's faces and have good lighting and have Fleur, I don't know if you can move your video so we can see the top of your head. Oh, there you are. Thank you. It'd be good to see more of your beautiful face and have nice lighting for everybody. Beautiful, beautiful. So I'm just going to ask to see a show of hands. Maybe you have a burning question for me today. Maybe you don't. It could be 3 people. It could be everybody. It's all good. I just want to get a show of hands. So you just raise your hand if I can see you on video, or raise your hand if you're not on video. If you have questions for me today, if you'd like coaching for me today, you can go boop like that with your hand. So I can see, just to get a show. I see 1, 2, and you can change your mind later. So if you don't raise your hand now and you're like, oh, a question came up from someone else's coaching, awesome, totally. I like to leave time and space at the end for that. So we have Myri raised her hand. I see Sam, Kat, Emily, Stacy. Great. We'll start with 4 minutes each for coaching. What that looks like is whoever feels inspired and called to go, they'll share whatever is up for them right now, whatever they want coaching support feedback on. The chat box is open. What I loved last week, and I didn't even tell y'all to do this, but you were all dropping some love whooshes and love nuggets to everybody on the chat. So I might be coaching and you might be like, oh, I want to share, say something. The chat box is a great place for that. And I'm happy to post the chat thing in our membership portal thing if that feels supportive. So it's because it's hard if you're getting coached, I don't want you to feel like you're distracted by the chat box, but I do want to feel like people, if you have things to say or to contribute, words of affirmation or whatever. Like I saw like the love chat box over there going last time, and it was awesome. So feel free to still do that. So we'll start with that, and then we'll make sure if questions came up from that for other people who want support, that's great. And remember, as I always say, someone else's coaching is your coaching. So, and we're all here to hold space and to witness and to continue to cultivate this community and build this community. So when it's your turn, I just invite you to introduce yourself to the group and share anything you want to share, maybe about your work or about something else. Maybe like a fun little thing about you and your work, and then dive into your question. Cool? Cool. All right. Who would like to get this party started? Anyone feeling? All right. We got Kat. Beautiful. Thank you for being courageous and going first. Kat, welcome.
Good afternoon, everybody. So as said, I am Kat. Just a fun thing about me. I'm getting ready to lead a group hike on Friday for the first time as my own little business. So I'm really excited about that.
Woo!
It's just a fun little free hike that I put together. So I'm really excited just to get some new people out that I've wanted to hike with and haven't gone before. So that's my fun thing.
Awesome. Beautiful.
In relation to that, and so it's always been by design, I want to do some free things because community is really important as a part of what I'm building.
Yeah.
But I'm struggling a bit with pricing for other offerings from my business.
Okay.
And so just looking for a little guidance when you find yourself in a space where maybe what you do is unique, because a lot of what I keep running across for guidance falls into two general buckets. One is price yourself for what you're worth. Great. That's really wonderful as an affirmation of I'm worth something, but very vague.
Yes.
And then the other piece is we'll see what your competition is charging. But my competition really runs the gamut from a free thing you can get from an online social group to go on a hike with people, or go ask for free advice, to I've seen some super expensive, like all out guided, everything's covered for you type excursions. And I kind of land in the middle, where I have a value. I'm putting together a lot of information that would take, as individuals, time, money, effort to put together. So saving all of that for you, as my client in a package. But how do I stick a price tag on that when I can't quite seem to find something to give me guidance on what it's worth, or something more concrete than you're worth something, so charge that value? It's been a struggle.
Raise your hand if you struggle with pricing your offerings. Yes. Okay. We're not alone in this. One thing that I do with the group coaching is try to bring it back to the group, right? How can this serve everybody? So when you're thinking about pricing your programs, your workshops, your events, really taking into account a few different things. One is, with a hike, for example, well, you said not necessarily the hike, but with your other offerings, is what's the overhead? What is this thing just like straight up costing me to put on?
Right.
The simplest one, like the simplest budget that I have, and I'll actually post this in the group. It's like location, or like the venue, food. And and then maybe supplies, right? Did I need to buy a flip chart paper or markers or name tags or whatever? So it's like venue, food, supplies. What's the overhead of that? And then, making sure that is covered. And then sometimes I ask myself, okay, if it's a 2-hour workshop, how much do I want to get paid hourly? Ideally. That's one, again, this is one way of looking at it. Or if it's not, what do I want to get paid hourly? What would feel really good to receive from that time? What would feel like, okay, that was time well spent? And is this offering leading to an invitation? Right? So am I wanting to make money from this one event? That's it. That feels really good. I made $200, 2-hour workshop, feel awesome, done. Or do I want to make $100? And then I invited people into something and a couple people signed up for that other thing. And maybe I made like $100 from the event, but then I made $1,000 from whatever I invited them to a retreat, and it was $500 and 2 people signed up. Right? So there's a couple things to think about with your pricing. Is this a one-off offer? Or am I inviting people into something and wanting to make money kind of am I making money on the front end, the back end, or both? So that's like something to consider. And like what would feel really good if no one signed up? If no one signed up, I still made $200 and that feels really good. Or like, hey, because we can't always guarantee that people are going to sign up for the thing necessarily. Right. So those are a couple things to think about, is your budget, your overhead. And then one of the things we talked about last time, I think, is like, what are your good, better, best numbers? It's like, okay, if my good 4, 6, 8 is my good, better, best right now, or 5, 10, 15. And then sometimes I either base it on my good or my better, my pricing. Mm-hmm. So, I'm not basing it on like, oh, ideally I want 20 people to show up. And if I only charge $20, then that's $400. That's amazing. But if I only charge $20 and 5 people come, that's still $100. And maybe that feels good. Right. But it's like, I might base if I'm, and looking at the numbers, like how many people are showing up to my events right now, things are going to take time to build. So is that helpful?
It is.
Okay, great. And if people have other thoughts, I saw like Mary Lou posted in the chat, like, when's the hike? Jill's like, Jill's an accountant, amazing accountant. She can maybe help with pricing. She posted in there. So, and these are all like conversations we can continue in the Facebook group too. So.
Fantastic.
Beautiful. Awesome. Thanks, Kat. Let's give Kat a big love whoosh. Whoosh. Who's next? On The Price is Right, on Catalyze Your Confidence with Marley Williams. We're starting a TV show. Okay, here we go. Sorry, Sam. We both unmuted you at the same time. What's up, Sam?
Hey.
Hello.
I'm not doing I was going to say fun fact. I run away and go snowboarding for winters. That's going to be my fun fact, but I'm changing that too. I am really just starting out and really looking for those tips on building my community, finding my tribe. It's the same questions everyone always asks. So I'm starting to do the things. So I'm putting things out on Facebook. I'm being bold with what I'm saying. I'm trying to be very specific on like what I'm about to try and attract the ideal audience.
Yeah. Awesome. So what are you, so your question is around building your audience, building your community.
Building community.
Building community.
Finding my tribe. Yeah. Because I think
go ahead.
For me, I'm starting out in a point where, lots of my friends think this is cool or whatever, but they're not the dreamers and non-conformists who want to change the world.
Right. So our friends might lean in. Raise your hand if you can relate to that. Like your friends are like, yeah, like that sounds kind of cool, but like they're probably not your people. Right? So it's like, where are my people? Where do they live? Where do they exist? So one of the things is looking at what you're doing and noticing what's working. Are people watching the videos? Are people commenting on my posts? Are they liking it? Are they sharing it? Right? So I think we could be doing all of the things, but are we kind of taking a step back and like, what are people responding to the most? When do you notice people lean in? So, I mean, one example is like, I started doing these Facebook Live coaching sessions that I loved, that were super fun. And people were like, these are great. And I was like, what if I started a group? Here we are. So I tested a little bit, like I did it a couple times. But people really leaned into that. They're like, oh, wow, this is cool. This is interesting. I'm paying attention. So it's doing stuff, taking action, but then paying attention what is capturing people's attention, if that makes sense. And, you know, like, I don't know if you have a Facebook group that you've started. I know that that's a big thing of like, what's the next step you want people to take, right? So if they are leaning in, if they're curious, how do they get, maybe they saw a quote and they like the quote. Great. What's like, hey, if you want more of this, like you can join whatever. Like if you are building an online community, create a community for people and then make sure that you're in there and continuing to share. So you can share to like everybody. And then, so it's like, what does everybody get? And what does this group get that they're like hungry for? And you get to ask them and take polls and get their input and get their feedback and experiment, right? Like I say, like everything is a giant experiment. And sometimes it feels like we're throwing spaghetti at the wall a little bit, but it's really, the law of attraction loves momentum. So like people are like, oh, well, what should I do? I'm like, post it everywhere. Post it in this group, post in that group, send personal messages, but like have a next step. And the next step could be like, join my free community on Facebook, right? Just to get like, to build that. And that's honestly like a lot of people start there. And then just making sure you're sharing like really valuable content and asking them what they need and building those relationships as people are coming in. Welcoming the new members, asking them questions, sharing insightful things. Awesome. Yeah. Cool. That was our timer. Timer just went up. What did you hear in that, Sam? Or like what feels actionable for you as a next step?
I think it's the kick in the butt to get on with my own Facebook group rather than relying on chit-chatting to people in other people's Facebook groups.
Yeah. It's like, boom, that next level, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Awesome. So hopefully that was helpful for others. And I didn't say this is at the top of the hour. I know there's some new folks that are joining us today, but at the end, I create time and space for everyone to just we'll do a take action round. So you're going to say your name and one inspired action you're going to take this week based on maybe someone else's coaching, based on what came up for you, to really declare that and stick to it. And then we celebrate our wins at the end of the week. Cool. Who is up next? Let's give Sam a big love. Whoosh. Whoosh. All the way to the UK. Okay. Who's up next? All right. We'll go Stacy and then Emily. We'll go Stacy, Emily. All right. All right, Stacy.
Hey.
Hello, my friend.
Hello. Fun fact about me, I was in the circus one day, a long time ago.
Someday, a long time ago, writing a book. Cool. You're awesome. Go team.
So thank you. So this kind of ties into, I think, what I asked last week. Okay, so I'm working part-time. I actually just went on an interview that wanted me to work full-time. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that because I recognize this thing I got to do, right?
100%.
My thing right now is like, I know I have to do my daily tasks.
Tasks.
That's it.
That's a hard word.
I don't even know what those should be. I'm kind of like, what do I need to be doing? How much time do I need to be focusing on them? What does it look like? And I know that everyone's different because of what time you have, right? So my curiosity was more around what does yours look like, or how would you guide me on that? And then what's a realistic expectation I should have around, and I know this is kind of hard to really pinpoint, but around the pop. Like for you, Marley, how long were you consistently doing action before you actually started to see things starting to pop? Because I know you're like popcorn, right? It's like everything's popping. But I'm just wanting to know, like, I want to be realistic and I don't want to give up, but I also feel like I'm not doing anything on a daily actionable, like what does it need to look like so that I have these chewable things I can say, okay, I'm either doing or not doing the right things.
Gotcha. Love it. Love the question. So to answer your question of when did it pop, to start there, I mean, there's something pretty powerful about like, I'm just now over the 3-year hump. So this is going on my 4th year working for myself. I would say like the first year was like, woo, this is fun. Cause I was like, and actually things started out pretty strong. And then year 2 was probably my hardest. And then it's kind of been like slowly climbing back up. And now things feel like they're really moving upwards. So
how much time were you putting in during all that?
I've been doing this full time for 3.5 years.
Okay.
So the last year in my full-time job, I did a couple things on the side. I ran a retreat. I had a couple coaching clients. I had a couple speaking engagements. And then I left at the end of 2015. So I couldn't go part-time. It was just like, I'm going all in on this, baby. And there is something about like the full commitment, because I was like, and I would say whatever you're doing at the beginning, if you're wanting to generate money, is getting on the phone with people, having like whatever you want to call them. You can call them consultations, sales conversations, enrollment conversations, discovery calls. But at the beginning, when I okay, I have to replace my income, that's what I had to do. And I was working at a university, so it wasn't that hard to do it. I was literally making $3,000 a month working at a university. Like that was my take home. And so that was like, okay, 6 clients at $500 a month. And that was my goal, right? So having the daily tasks align with the goal. If I want coaching client, if my goal is 5 coaching clients to pay me $500 a month, really looking at like being real with yourself. How many conversations am I having with people about that include an invitation to work with me? And that at the beginning was like focus. Like I was in a business mastermind at the time, and I joined it, and it was all about sales, because I knew that was the skill I needed to cultivate if I was going to be an entrepreneur. And so what am I doing? Like making sure that those daily tasks, like again, with what I was talking about with Sam, like if people are engaging, they're leaning in, really getting clear, what's your goal, but what's the steps you want people to take in order to work with you? So I think aligning our daily tasks with our goals is just like super important. Because it's like, if I don't know what that goal is, it can feel like we're just running around like a crazy person trying to figure out what should I be posting and what email should I be doing? And if the goal is, and we can't necessarily I can't guarantee 5 new clients will work with me every week or every month, but I can say, I'm going to commit to doing 5 discovery sessions every week. That's 1 a day. Or if you only do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that's like, okay, I'm going to do 2 a day. Because the more times, like there's a really great book. If you're a coach, there's a book by Rich Livton called The Prosperous Coach. And he says, no coaching, no client was ever created outside of a conversation. Speaking engagements, people coming to retreats, sometimes they'll sign up, but a lot of the time we'll have a conversation, coaching clients. So how many conversations am I having? And what daily tasks are leading to me to have more conversations? Intentional conversations where they know it's like, hey, are you interested in exploring what it would look like to work together? Here's a link to my calendar. So whatever your tasks are, leading to that so that you can be making more sales, so that if that's the goal right now, that's like focus.
Yeah. So it's just like on that one
zoom
thing.
in. And if you are posting, and again, I don't know what the ratio is. Maybe, it's like 5 to 1 or ish. Maybe you share a quote and you share a video and you share a thing and then you make an ask. Right. So it's not every time I'm posting, who wants a call? Who wants a call? Who wants a call? So it's giving valuable content and then also inviting people into like, hey, you like this? Great. Let's hop on here. So does that help? Does that make sense? Connecting the task to the goal?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think I just need to like get really focused on that and then rein in my expectations on my activity versus my results. And like wanting it to pop sooner than it's, because you're telling me 3 years full time, like I gotta, I'm clearly where I am because of what I've done. They're not done. Right. So,
right.
Yeah.
And it does take time. And like, how can I show up in the commitment that it will?
Right.
how
Yeah.
commit, you know, like the energy of the commitment that like, I'm all in on this.
Yeah.
I am all in on this with whatever time you have,
Right.
and acting from that place of trust of like, this isn't just a game. This isn't just a hobby. This is my fucking mission in the world. Like, this is what I'm committed to.
Mhm.
And I'm showing up from that place of commitment with these 2 hours that I have, with these 4 hours that I have, and trusting, right? Like, and taking action from that place, you know, that it will.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Beautiful. All right. Thanks. Let's give Stacey a big love whoosh. Whoosh. And Emily.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, it's so weird. I don't usually wear headphones, so feel like I'm in a space.
Like you're in space. We're in space.
So hi, I'm Emily. And I don't know a fun fact about me. I'm a professional best friend for business owners. That's fun. My job is fun.
Love it.
So, okay, so what I want to talk about is, God, I have to unplug this. Sorry. It's just.
Yeah, you don't need to feel like you're in space. Oh, we can't hear you though. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Oh, now I can. Yep, I can hear you now. Okay, we're good. All clear.
So it's fine for listening, but not for talking. Okay. So I am going to Australia in August, to speak at a conference, which is
Yeah, you are.
and like getting that opportunity, that was like a really big win for me. I really put myself out there, and it felt like a big risk. So I'm super excited. But so the speaking gig is paid, but it's not enough paid to even cover my ticket. And ideally, I would like to make this a family vacation. And so my original idea was I'll host a retreat down there to make it all pay for itself. And I just hosted my first retreat in April, and it was awesome, but oh my God, I promoted it for 9 freaking months. It was a ton of work, and I'm just coming out of the exhaustion of that. And so the idea of trying to plan and host a retreat in a foreign country, no, I'm not doing that. But I still need to do something to make this trip pay for me to be there. And so I had the idea that I could do a mini version of my retreat, a 1 day, no overnight, no accommodations included. And I really love that idea. I could offer it, at a price point that fits more budget that way, and I don't have to find sleeping arrangements or catering. But I am paralyzed. I have not been able to take action on doing that. So I don't know if it's the logistics end of it, of not being there to find a venue. I think more so it's the fear that nobody's going to sign up for that. I do have a significant number of people from Australia and New Zealand on my newsletter list. And I have a few friends in both Australia and New Zealand who are already planning on coming to hang out while I'm there. But it's each of them have their own money thing going on that I think is wearing off on me. So that's what I want to brainstorm about.
Okay. Question. Do you know how much you need or want, not need, but how much you're this is the amount that would feel awesome to bring in order for this trip to pay for itself, as you're saying, to make it a family vacation? What's the number?
Yeah, good question. So I haven't quite figured out how long we're staying, where we're staying, all of that. Because that would all affect it, right? How many nights of a hotel or Airbnb we need. But tickets wise, I think we need at least, because I've waited so long to buy the tickets, we need at least like 3,500, 4,000. So we're probably, you know, if we stay,
Accommodations and
that's the other thing, the timing of it, it's like, I have to be at the conference. That's on a weekend. So I'd have to do it either the weekend before or the weekend after, or on a weekday, do this one day thing. And yeah, so just kind of figuring out like, well, how long are we there? So if I was over 10 days, say at like, let's say $300 a night or $300 a day, $400 a day with food, that's another $4,000. So what are we looking at? Like $8,000?
yeah, like 10 grand on the high end.
Yeah.
Between 8 and 10, right? So the timer just went off. So I have a couple thoughts for you. And I think Sam asked a really good question in the group too. One is, whenever we're having like, I have these goals, like what's the number? And then being willing or being curious about brainstorming, what could that look like? What is like, how is 10K going to come? Like that's 5 people paying $2,000, but like, then there's overhead if it's a retreat, or it's 10 people paying 1,000. Is it a retreat? Is it coaching? Is it a one-day thing? You know, is it a one-day thing? If it's a one-day thing for 200, you know, for $500,
that's kind of what I was thinking. Was a one
let's
day
say it's a one-day thing for $500, and we do 10,000 divided by 500. That's 20 people, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would need 20 people to pay 500, and then again, there might be some overhead with a venue or whatnot. But 20 people, like that's not insane. And $500 for the type of thing might not be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What Sam said was like saying, hey, if I did this thing, would you be in? You know what I mean? Like, I think it's, if you have the idea and doing anything abroad, there's going to be more risk involved. And so it's like, do you want to do a one-day thing here or somewhere else possibly? Like, I mean, trying to figure out, the goal is I want to make 10K. Like, do I want to do that here? Do I want to do that there? This is the, you know, that's $490, you know, it's tickets are $497 early bird, and they're like, you know, whatever. So does that help just to kind of get the wheels turning? And we can brainstorm, dreamstorm more in the group too as things arise. But I would reach out to your people and be like, this is what I'm thinking, a one-day thing. Number 1, can you commit to coming? This is the price. B, number 2, how many people could you bring? And if you brought 5 people, you would get your ticket for free.
Oh, I like that.
Something like that. You know, like really just, I think if we have ideas, asking people, would you do this? Would you sign up for this? Like,
yeah,
real,
like,
you know.
I've reached out to kind of my closest network of Aussie Kiwi friends. But they're all the ones, you know, and they're like, fabulous idea. Also, I have no money. Like, you know, so I think that kind of, like, at first I reached out to them about doing a retreat. When I was doing the retreat here, it was all, oh my God, I wish I could come, but I can't be away from my kids for that long to make that trip, or I can't travel because I have health issues, whatever, right? And it's like, hey guys, I'm coming. Would you do the retreat? And it was all kind of like, can we just go shopping while you're there? Yeah. So, so I'm like, maybe people don't even want this, but maybe I need to, reach beyond my tiny, you know, my 4 friends there and start reaching out to the other people on, I don't know if there's an easy way that I can filter like my newsletter list of who's in Australia and New Zealand. I think the other thing, sorry, I know I'm totally over time, but it's like I've just gotten my mojo back as far as promoting my membership group. So I just wrapped up a promotion and I'm going right into a free workshop next week, or a free course next week that then is another promotion for the membership group. It's like promote. And I'm like, oh my gosh, can I get the momentum to promote a live event that's in Australia and do it in time to actually like book a ticket?
Right. So
but I have to do something.
right. So this is good for everybody. Who can relate to like the promotion, overwhelm, marketing, oh my gosh, fill the room, da 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 da, right? And so it's just whatever you're doing, whether it's this live event or the promotion group or anybody else, knowing why you're doing it. And having your why drive your energy, your attitude, your mindset. How do I make the fun, like, how do I make this fun? Because it can feel exhausting, it can feel overwhelming, but like, what is there something that I can do mindset wise, energy wise, to promote this in a way that really like supports me instead of drains me, right? So just something to consider for everybody of like, how do I have fun promoting this thing? If I'm going to choose to do it, again, being all in on it. Yeah, cool. Let's give Emily a big love whoosh. Whoosh. Beautiful, beautiful. Thanks, Emily. All right. And we can always continue. There was like lots of group stuff, group chats, like people were posting in there for you, Emily, so you can check that out. I see that Myri has her hand raised. So I'm going to unmute you, Myri. What's up? What's up? What's up? All right. Hello, hello.
Hi.
Welcome, welcome.
I killed the video so you don't have to watch me eat my lunch. This is my lunch break.
All good.
Mhm.
All right. What you got for us today, Myri?
All right. I've got a couple of things. First
Beautiful.
question was that would you still be able to send some information about where you can do events in Portland? Because you said you have.
Oh yeah, I'll put that on my docket for today. Events in Portland. I'm gonna put
event spaces. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Event spaces in Portland. I'll put some. I'll figure out the best way to do it, but I'll put it in the membership portal thing.
Great.
As a resource. So I'm gonna have videos, resources. The resources will include books, videos, and then event spaces in Portland. I'll have my top favorite favesies. Like
all right,
top 10.
great. Yeah. And especially if there are any that have that has some nice nature around them, but they're still in Portland.
Got it. 10-4.
So I've got like quite a few questions, but the one I kind of wanted to check in on is, so I have a full practice, which is a lot. I do like 18 sessions a week, right? And then I know that's a lot, right? And so then that is a lot. And that I do that 6 a day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday is to like do everything else and also just go out and get away from the office. And so I don't have a lot of time to create a lot of content, right? Like, so I've got to create a newsletter this week. And so it's just like this like constant like production line that's hard to show up for all the time. Like I can totally show up for the sessions, but then it's showing up for this and I'm still kind of finding my way. So that's like one thing. If you have any tips on that, how to like shift modes, how to make that fun, and because it needs to be regular, but I find like sometimes I just, I have gaps. I tell my client, my newsletter list, I am not always regular. It's just the way my life goes. And the other thing I notice, is that when I'm creating content for classes and workshops, I just wanted to kind of quickly maybe coach this a little bit. I noticed that I have a lot of what ifs. Like I'm quite confident, but then there's this like little part that goes, what if no one likes it? What if it doesn't work? What if people can't do it? Nah, right? And it sort of makes me like, I'm just like trying to like, smiling. You obviously recognize what I'm talking about. So if you could speak to that like little, that voice, because it really, puts a pin in the wheel of the.
It does. Who can relate to that? Like, are people going to like it? Is it going to be enough? Like, are they going to get it? What if they don't?
Yeah, like they're paying this money. Is it going to be enough? Or even if it's free, right? Like free classes is often worse. I don't know why. Yeah.
So I think it's like really coming into that like congruency and that alignment and the energy of like, anytime I'm creating content, whether it's a video, a workshop, a post, it's like, if I am creating this, it means someone needs it. that's where that's a belief I have and I hold. And like, how much can, and I know from what you've shared with me, it's like the things that you're teaching, like they are you, like they're your embodied wisdom, they're your content, they're your knowledge, they're this like, so it's like, what if it's never wrong? And I think that as empathic leaders in the world, I can have the tendency of like, I want everyone to love it. I want everyone to like it. I want everyone to get it. And it's like, I've had to learn to let go of my responsibility for other people's experience.
Oh, that's good. Oh my God. I need to let go of that.
Yeah, right? So we overown other people's experience. So there's a quote that I want to share with you. I'll put it in the group. You can write it down if you want, but it is like given me so much freedom. And the quote is, the greatest freedom in life is to allow the other person to have their own experience. Because then I'm not responsible for that. And it doesn't like give me permission to be an a-hole. It just takes the weight away or the pressure that like, I need to get them to get it because they're going to get whatever they need to get in that moment. And so sometimes I'll say at my workshops, like, I hope that you get something that you needed and something you didn't even know you needed. That's what that's my intention. That's my hope. Like, I hope you get something that you came here for. And like, you might get something you didn't even know that you were coming here for, but you're like, whoa. So can you invite people into that space of curiosity of like, you are here for a reason.
That's
and
really,
I trust that. Right. And so it's like, and this is the work of like, how much can we embody that knowledge and wisdom and like fully show up in that trust of ourselves as a guide and a mentor and a leader. And like, you know, there are some people that don't like Brene Brown or don't like Deepak Chopra or don't like Oprah. There are people like, there are haters. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So like, no matter who you are, even the people that are like at the top of the game, they're going to be people that jam with you or don't. And it's like, that's not on you. That's based on their realm or their frame, their lens. Like, and so it's like, I can't tiptoe around who I am and what I want to share just to appease everybody. It's like, this is what's up. I might have people walk out the room. I might have people not like it. And it's like, can I stand in the power of my message and like not shrink back? And that's the work, I think. And that's the invitation of how much can I trust myself in like whatever the message that's wanting to come through is coming through because people are needing that message, that medicine. It's medicine. Right?
Yeah, totally. This has been such an amazing pep talk that I just had like even more questions. Do you have any time or is the little ringer gone off?
The ringer has gone off, my friend, but we can, I want to check in to see if other people needed some coaching. These and all of these conversations that we started, I want you all to feel like we can continue that conversation in the Facebook group. And I'm exploring the possibility, if people are interested, because like there's things that get lit up in here. If people want to add a one-on-one coaching session with me every month, I'm going to figure out that possibility if that's of interest and of support to you and your process of like, I just need more time.
Yeah, I just have like 5,000 questions that I could probably fit in an hour, and I was like 0.4 minute per question. Maybe I can like send them.
Oh my gosh, write them all down. I want
so we can post questions in the Facebook group.
You can totally post questions in the Facebook group, questions that came up from today. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to make sure that I'm in there at least once a day. I was away. I was camping all weekend, so I wasn't in there. My phone died and I was just like off the grid. But Monday through Friday for sure, I'm in there every day. So yeah.
Can I just ask one super fast question?
Great. Go for it.
In my situation, how could I make creating content fun?
So I always think about what's the easiest and most fun way for you to create content? Is it video? Is it writing? Is it audio? like for me, like I love video. Not everybody does, but it's like it's super easy peasy lemon squeezy for me to turn on my camera and like 5 minutes done. But it takes me like 5 hours to write a damn newsletter. That's why I do it like when I feel like it, which is kind of never, which is like every couple weeks, whatever.
You just kind of like do it on the fly. This like video, I've seen some of your on the fly videos. They're pretty fun. And then you just, and that's it. And you just like post them up. You don't like edit it.
Post it. So one thing that I'm looking into is doing the video and then actually getting it transcribed and then getting someone else to write like a blog, like a newsletter, or like write it out. I don't know if that'll work. I know people do it, right? It's like, how can I create content one time in the easiest way that I know how to do? And if that's a video, great. There's also like Dragon Scribe, like there's Otters, like video or voice thingies on your phone, like little apps where you can speak it out, it'll transcribe it, and you can send it to an editor and they'll make it like look good for you for a few bucks. So thinking like, what is the easiest modality of content creation? And then can I pay someone $20 or whatever to like make it sound good in these other platforms? Like do an Instagram post and do a da-da-da-da-da. Like I haven't figured this out completely. I know people do it and I'm trying to figure out what that looks like.
Okay.
Does
Awesome.
that help? Okay.
Sorry, super helpful. You just got up to 6,000 questions in an hour.
All the questions.
All
I
right.
love it.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, everybody.
Let's give Myri a big love. Whoosh.
Oh, and Emily, I'm Australian if you want to ask me questions about Australia.
All right. We got an Aussie connection. Was there somebody else that raised their hand that I did not see earlier? Or anybody else in here that has a question? Fleur. Hello, my friend.
Hello, all. Thank you for the love from last week.
Yeah.
I've been hatching, so this is real short and easy. And maybe you said already, are these recorded so that I can watch them and read the chat later?
100%. So these
Thank
are
you.
recorded. They are in our membership portal with the password is collective. And everybody it's going to be in your welcome email.
Okay.
All the emails from now on are going to be in brackets. It's going to say CCC, so you can be able to search your email, easier to find those emails from this group. I have the chat from last week that I will post with the video. I'm going to figure out how to do that. It might be like I have a link to a Google Doc or something like that. Like I copy and paste it, and then there's a link to, here are the Zoom group chat notes from this week, and here's a link to it. So I'll figure out a way, but all of the calls are recorded that you can go back and listen if you're like, oh, what did she say? Or what was that thing? So yes, to answer your question.
That helped me be present with all of you more instead of trying to record because I have poor short-term memory.
Totally. Yeah. That's why they're recorded. And I always do it at the top of the hour so I don't forget to be like, oh shoot, we didn't record it. But we are live. We're recording. So good question. Did you have another question or was that the main one?
That was a bonus. That's what I needed.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's give Fleur love. Whoosh.
That too.
Whoosh.
Thank you.
I just want to make sure, was there anybody else who had a quick question before we do our rounds of actions? Anything else that came up for you today? Happy to answer. We're good? Looks like we're good. Okay. So let's go around. I'm going to have you say your name. One bold, inspired action you're going to take this week. What do you want to celebrate this at the end of the week to say like, I rocked it out? Cool. So we're going to go around in the circle. So we'll start with Stacy.
Ooh, gotta pick me first. Okay.
I just went for it.
One bold, inspired action. I'm going to sit down and really get clear on the time slots I want to fill and just start making that my focus. Like every day, do at least 3 outreaches.
Awesome.
To fill those spots.
Awesome.
For conversations.
Yep. Beautiful. Love it. All right, Kat, you're next.
All right, so I've been toying with prices, and I think I've just been putting it off. So by Thursday, I'm going to lock in some prices so that Friday, when I'm out with people and talking about how they can work with me further, I can give them actual prices instead of kind of dodging the question.
Awesome. Beautiful. And I would say too, just like invite them into conversation, right? Like,
Yep.
Hey, you want to talk more about it? But yeah, having those prices set is helpful for your confidence. I dig it. All right, Emily.
Oh wait, can you hear me?
Yep.
Can't hear
We're good.
myself.
I unmuted you.
I'm gonna reach out to my Aussie network
Yeah.
and see, get kind of an interest temperature and see if my friends can kind of help me put this on and who they could share it with.
Beautiful.
Let's make it happen.
Awesome. Woo! Rock it out, Emily. All right. Mary Lou, I know we didn't hear from you today, but welcome.
Hey. So I have avoided Facebook Live.
Okay.
And I realized that my bold action for this week would be to do a Facebook Live inviting everyone to my wonderful manifesting and hypnosis workshop.
Awesome. And when is your workshop?
May 28th, 6 to 8 at the Alberta Space.
All right. May 28th, 6 to 8. And, I don't want, if it becomes a thing, I'll tell people, but if you have stuff, especially I know most of our group is in Portland, if you have stuff you want to share that's of service to our community, like share it in the group of saying like, hey, if you want to come, like,
Yeah.
as long, I don't think it feels overly promotional.
Okay.
I think it's good for people to know what people are up to.
Beautiful.
If we
And
want
I'm happy
to
to,
or whatever.
Yeah, I'm happy to share everybody else's stuff on my Facebook page too. Would love to do that.
Yeah, like let's just spread the love and like elevate each other. So
Right on.
beautiful. Facebook Live. I'm looking forward to seeing it. You got this. All right. We're going to go up to Erin. Hello, my friend.
Hi.
Puppy Snugs.
Yeah. Let's see. I am going to sit back and look at my schedule this week and dedicate specific times. I've had a lot of like free time, so now it's time to actually like look at the appointments I have coming up and how I can budget. Keep continuing to move on my piece.
Beautiful. Awesome. Love it. Yeah, setting aside that time in our schedule to work on and in our business is so critical. Kendra from Chile, rocking it out. So good to see you.
Nice to see you too. Excited to be here and meet all of you. So tonight there's a startup pitch boot camp that I'm going to. So it's learning how to do a pitch. I don't know whether I'm going to have to, but if there's an opportunity, then I will pitch the app that I'm working on.
Yeah, Kendra is changing the world with experiential education and technology in classrooms. Yeah, she's changing the world. Thanks, Kendra. I hope that you get to practice pitching tonight.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right, Myri, we're coming down to you.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you.
I am going to do some brainstorming about how to make content creation fun, and I'm actually going to re-listen to the little pep talk because there was a lot of good juiciness in there, and see some of those questions and see what comes out of them.
Beautiful. I love it. And re-listen. Cool. I'm writing these things down. Holding you accountable, people. All right. Oh, where are we going? Okay, here we go. Fleur, did you go? No, we haven't. Fleur, do you want to say what your bold inspired action is?
My bold inspired action for this week is it's all about self-care and refilling the well.
Love it.
Thank you for starting us with gathering the energy and the centering, because it made me realize how off I've been feeling. And I now, I go to Koreatown and I soak and I get scrubbed and somebody fills me with love so I can spread it around again.
I love it. Yeah, we have to carve out time and space to fill up our bucket so that we can show up and give 100%.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Yeah. And Sam.
I'm starting the Facebook group this week.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Starting the Facebook group. Beautiful, beautiful. And then, like I said at the throughout this, if there are questions that came up from this that you feel like you can ask in the group, right? So that's our 24/7 like ask. And then make sure if you are asking me a specific question, just tag me in it so that I just make sure that I see it. I'm going to make sure that I look in there every day and comment. It just might take me a minute to get back to y'all. But thank you all so much. Yeah, Stacy, are there any other questions just like logistically? Stacy, you have a question?
I actually don't have a question. I just
Okay.
wanted to alert the group who's local, if they're not aware of it, that you're doing Roar storytelling this
Oh,
Saturday
yeah.
or Sunday.
I am.
So
Thank
I
you
want to
for
invite
reminding me.
everyone to come because those are great shows.
So
So
there is
Roar
a
Fierce Female Storytelling here in Vancouver.
Roar Female Fierce Storytelling.
Fierce Female Storytelling.
That's the one. I will be speaking this Sunday evening at that event. And if you are in Portland, I think there's still tickets available, $15, $20, something like that.
Yeah, I think they're 15 in advance, 20 at the door. It's a very vulnerable show. It's not about like surface talk. It always goes deep. So I'm looking forward to it. And this one is Pride.
Yeah.
So it's some good stuff's going to happen. I think it's going to be good.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. I was
Yeah.
I'm like, I have so many things.
We love you. So I just want everyone else to
Aw,
share
thank
the
you
love.
so much. Thank you, everybody, for showing up and for just doing the work in the world that you do. I think it takes so much heart and love and light and energy. And I hope that this is a place and a space where every week you can get lifted up and filled up by me and by each other, just by seeing all of your beautiful faces and knowing that you're doing just such magical, incredible work in the world. So and that you don't feel alone in that, right? And that you feel like you have support on this call, but then also in the community and in the group that we're building. So I just want to give you all a big giant love whoosh from my heart to your heart. Whoosh. Go out there and do your magic. And yeah, just like love what you do, love yourself, share the love, spread the love, and sending you all so much love. If you need anything, post in the group, and we will see you next week, same time, same place. And then for the local people, make sure that you do sign up if you can attend the monthly meetup in person, which is Thursday, May 30th. And you can use the promo code collective. And again, you get free access as being a part of this group. All right, everybody. Have a beautiful day. Mwah.